What's up, fam? It's your boy G-Man, and you are listening to the Superhero Brothers podcast. Guys, on today's episode, we're going to be breaking down the past 15 minutes of gameplay for the latest upcoming game from DC, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. When I tell you, after seeing this gameplay and a little bit of kind of the cinematic story, I am so pumped for this game. So, guys, what I'm going to go ahead and do is give you my early thoughts about what I thought from a cinematic perspective, story-wise. We're going to go into what characters I want to play in, as well as go into a little bit of my feedback in terms of how they're going to have the classes, what games it kind of reminds me of, and then, of course, keep you guys up to date with all the news and rumors going on. So with that, fam, let's go ahead and dive right in. So first and foremost, give you guys a little bit of background. So Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League is a direct sequel to Arkham Knight. Now, this is not Gotham Knights, but Arkham Knight. So this takes place in that same series. So the Arkham series, think like Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, Arkham Knight. So definitely love that they're keeping kind of that same continuity and that same universe. So it's the same characters from that Batverse, kind of the aftermath of Arkham Knight. So I think that's really cool to see. So this takes place 5 years after the events of Arkham Knight, and our location is actually not in Gotham anymore. We are in Metropolis. Brainiac has taken over the Justice League, and they are now trying to take over the Earth. Amanda Waller has put together this quick Suicide Squad, of course, to take on this mission to defeat Brainiac, the Justice League, and save the Earth. So with that being said, I actually am really stoked that this is in Metropolis. We got to see just a dynamic shift when you think of Gotham City compared to Metropolis. Metropolis is so much brighter. It has kind of just a real vibrant and embraces truly what Superman is. Now, albeit Brainiac is taking over some of these buildings, so it's definitely got that evil vibe, but was definitely stoked to see kind of we got an uplifting feel from the groggy Arkham City or Gotham that we've had in the past few Batman games, which nothing wrong with that vibe because it was set for those Batman games, but now it's nice to see like we're kind of moving to a new environment and the game versus expanding the maps that we get to see. But I will say the cinematics on this were so dope. We got to see where the Suicide Squad was taking on the Flash for a bit, and Lex Luthor was in there. I don't know if he was originally trying to defeat Brainiac or like make Brainiac a part of him. That wasn't super revealed in the story, but seeing how awesome the Flash was in this in-game cinematic has me super pumped to fight the Justice League.
Hey there, sleepyhead. We've got an interrogation to get back to. Hey! You think I'm just gonna let you walk away? And tell these guys everything you know? You think they can stop us? Pathetic.
Pathetic? At least I'm not a big hero turned stooge for a spaceman.
Okay, Boomerang. You want to see what a real hero can do? I'll show you.
And a little bit terrified because they're like the hero switch is gone. They are full send kill mode. So imagine Superman, no morality. This man is just punching holes through people. You got Batman with all of his repertoire and all of his gadgets, no mercy. So super excited. We get to see a little bit deeper into the story where it's revealed that in order for them to survive and save the Earth, they have to kill the Justice League. And this happens when Diana does a total WWE clothesline to the clothesline. The Flash. She's like, that's enough! Boom. And gets him into the lasso of truth. And it's like, how do we defeat Brainiac? She's like, Diana, you have to kill us all.
Flash, how do I stop this? Please, tell me how.
You have to kill us, Diana. We have to die to save the world.
And it was just such like a vulnerable moment, but at the same time it gets you so pumped like, ooh, like how did Brainiac take over? Will the Justice League truly die in this game? Be really interesting to see. Also, I think it's really dope. In the trailer, we got to see kind of like the individual rivals, if you will, for each character. So the 4 starting playable characters you have are King Shark, Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, and Harley Quinn. So each of them have their own individual rival. So with King Shark, he's matched up with Superman. Captain Boomerang is matched up with the Flash. Deadshot is matched up with Green Lantern. And Harley Quinn, of course, is matched up with the Batman. Now, granted, that does leave Diana as that kind of one character missing a rival. So maybe that leaves open the possibility that we could play as Diana, which I think that would be really cool. Maybe as a bonus level. I highly doubt it'll be in the main game, as the developers have stated that it's really more of a shooter type of game, and Wonder Woman doesn't use guns. So I highly doubt that, but that'd be super cool. With that being said, my only tiny gripe with that is that all the villains in the Suicide Squad aren't really all the Justice League villains. Like, they're mainly the Flash's villains and Batman's villains. Like King Shark, no offense, he's going to get absolutely bodied by Superman. Like, him and Captain Boomerang are really the Flash's villains, and then Deadshot and Harley Quinn are really Batman's villain. Like, Deadshot versus Green Lantern literally just has to pull up a wall or put Deadshot in a bubble, and he'll just crush him. So I feel like from that perspective, I wish maybe the studio would have thought about that and how they made those little rivals or whatever. But that's only a slight gripe. I think the game still will be good. So something else I got from the gameplay, I think it's a semi-open world feel. I think it's going to take a little bit of Marvel's Avengers, a mix of Gotham Knights, and a little bit of Destiny, all combined into one game. Now, I will admit, some of that worries me because of the pushback and kind of awfulness of Avengers when it first initially came out, and even some of the shortcomings Gotham Knights had in terms of combat and traversal. But I'm hoping that with this game, that all of that is actually addressed and that the traversal will be super smooth. I know the developer said combat and traversal, it's super integral in it, and it's mainly a shooting game. And they gave so many classes. I think there's 6 classes for the types of guns that you have.
Got assault rifles, SMGs, sniper rifles, shotguns, miniguns, and pistols.
But I think that's dope. But even after those 6 classes, from a geek perspective, they do even more of a drill down. So you have
LexCorp weapons, there's GCPD weapons, there's Armortech weapons. Later on in the game, we also have gear sets. The gear sets are villain themed.
And so it's just really pulling in from all those universes. So I think that is really dope. I like the cameos that we actually get to see. So we saw, like I said, the Toy Man. You see that Penguin's in there, and they will be kind of your support characters and helping with your loadouts and such. So I think that was really dope that DC and the developers put that in this game. It's just another extra level of character Easter eggs and character development and connecting this universe. It's not just its own separate game. It is, but at the same time, it's connected to the franchise, and you can see that connection. I think that's really dope. Also, that's something that's really interesting. We get a game that really puts you in the villain's shoes of what's their point of view. Yes, in the way some could argue that you're the anti-hero, but in reality, we are going to be the villains in this game. So I think that's going to be a really dope perspective and getting in their mind and just kind of their thoughts of each individual stories and how they all are wrapped up with Amanda Waller and really what could happen once they defeat Brainiac. So we do know that they're going to have continuous support for the game, and they said they're going to be adding new playable characters. Now, I'm not going to lie, already getting that from the get-go, I am absolutely stoked. Now, I think, partially from a geek perspective, but also from a business perspective, I think a character you definitely have to add is Black Manta, because not only can you bring in another hero from the Justice League in Aquaman, but it also opens up the whole world of Atlantis to play in. There's Bronze Tiger, there's Deathstroke, you have Killer Croc. The roster is absolutely endless. So I love that the fact that they are listening to the fans and know hey, let's give you guys this hopefully free content. I don't know if they're going to try to nickel and dime us. I hope that they don't. But sometimes you never know with studios, even though I feel like Rocksteady would not do that. But with all that being said, I am super pumped for this game to come out. I think we got to see gameplay for all 4 characters, and the top 2 that I would want to play as is either King Shark or Captain Boomerang. When it comes to shooters, I love to either be the shock troops, so I'm in there kind of the brute getting in, getting dirty with the assault weapons, and King Shark totally fits that vibe. Now, my second character I'd really want to play as is Captain Boomerang. I think that he is super dope. He's super lightning quick. He's not a sniper. He's like, get in, get out. I'm not gonna lie, fam, when I'm going in there, I'm getting shot a lot. My KD ratio is not always the best. So being able to get in, get out, and not have enemies really be able to hit me is a prime reason for me to love Captain Boomerang. So with that being said, fam, in the comments, let me know your thoughts about the Suicide Squad game, whether that's the story, what characters you want to play as, or what characters you hope that they bring to the Suicide Squad roster. But with that, fam, we're going to go ahead and transition into the Daily Bugle news and rumors. And do we have some crazy ones for you? So we're going to go ahead, stick with DC, and then work our way down through Marvel. So first on the docket in the DCU, James Gunn has confirmed he is almost finished casting all of the voice actors for Creature Commandos, which makes me super excited because he did note everyone who is a voice actor will be kind of the live action characters. So you know he's not only casting based off of voice, but also what these guys look like. So would love to see them in the big screen live action at some point, but also excited for the animated portion of this series. Also in the DC universe, fam, Frank Grillo has teased that he might be joining the DCU. And so for those of you who don't know, Frank Grillo played Crossbones in Captain America the Winter Soldier and Captain America Civil War. So he already knows the supervillain vibe. I think he'd be a super dope General Zod, Deathstroke, since we don't think Joe Maggiano were going to be able to come back. Like, if we get him as the real-time Deadshot, like there's just so many characters that he can play, and I think he will be a perfect addition to the new DCU. Another quick update for the actors in the DCU. Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn has been confirmed to be a patient in Arkham Asylum rather than a doctor. Now, I'm really intrigued to see how that switch impacts the Joker-Harley Quinn relationship. So a little bit of backstory for you guys. Traditionally, Harley Quinn was the doctor that tried to help the Joker that ended up falling in love with him. And then that's how she went from Harley Quinzel, psychiatrist, to Harley Quinn, the branded anti-hero, but really a villain in the DC universe. So very, very intrigued how they're going to have that work. Now, guys, this is kind of the DC Elseworlds. This is not going to be a part of the main canon, but this is kind of the Elseworlds, like another timeline, if you will. So very, very intrigued to see how they bring that to life in the Joker 2 film. I know the first one was honestly one of the greatest bone-chilling movies I've ever seen. Like, I've never walked out of a theater so silent in awe since that film. Like, I love, and I've seen like the avatars and all that, but like that film was just really, really good to me. Really interesting. But fam, that's not even the craziest news that we've received so far. So supposedly Aquaman 2, The Lost Kingdom has recently had test screenings, and the viewers have said it's been received very, very poorly. And it's even been stated to be the worst DC EU movie out of the whole entire universe, which, guys, that's really bad. Like, there's a level of bad, and then that just is terrible. It's so bad that supposedly that's what drove Jason Momoa, like the script and that whole movie, that's what drove him to go away from the character of Aquaman and try to get on Lobo. Now, take that with a grain of salt, because I do think he's always wanted to be Lobo as a character, but maybe this was what he viewed as his big out. But transitioning into Marvel, we do have some crazy news and rumors. First and foremost, Kevin Feige has confirmed that they will scale back the shows that are coming to Disney Plus on the Marvel side, which again, you guys know for the past couple weeks, if you've been listening, if you're new, Marvel is looking for quality over quantity now. Phase 4 really got poor reviews in terms of they put out a lot of content, but it kind of oversaturated the market, and it wasn't the high quality that we were used to from them. So they're going back to that formula, which I'm super excited for. Can't wait, because we know when the quality of the film or those TV shows are good, that's what keeps you hooked, and that's what makes you want to stay more engaged on, like, okay, what happened? How does this impact the greater MCU, right? Also, guys, Marvel is just digging up all these kind of old graves, if you will, having former actors reprise their roles. Supposedly, Lee Schreiber, which played Sabretooth in X-Men Origins, will be reprising his role as Sabretooth in Deadpool 3. I think Ryan Reynolds really thought that would be a great segue, also to help kind of bring the X-Men more so into the light. I know that Sabretooth is part of the Brotherhood of Mutants, but it's going to also play into their overall dynamic, being Deadpool, Wolverine, and Sabretooth all at one point being in the Weapon X program. So I think that would be really interesting to see how they make that work. Another update is that supposedly Shang-Chi 2 and Doctor Strange 3 are being fast-tracked in the production cycle for Disney, because they have a lot of impact in terms of the Kang universe and how that ties into kind of the whole Kang dynasty and the Council of Kangs. So super, super excited to see what those films bring and how they connect kind of the past few events we've seen in Phase 5 and Phase 4. Also, we did get an update for the Fantastic Four. Disney is now looking for a Dakota Johnson type of actress for Susan Storm, which I think is a low-key diss to Dakota Johnson, because, I mean, I know they did the same instance to Allison Brie for She-Hulk before they went with Tatiana Maslany, so very intrigued to see who they end up casting for that role. So we did get a schedule update release for Secret Invasion, which should be coming out May the 17th, and we should be getting an extended trailer in March. So I'm super, super pumped for Secret Invasion and how the Skrulls fit into kind of the Kang Dynasty and ultimately Secret Wars. I think that it's just going to make the world go bananas, and it's really going to up the game in the MCU. So super, super stoked for that. We also did get a schedule update release for Echo. That Disney Plus show will be dropping at the end of 2023 in December. So super, super excited about that. For you, those of you guys who haven't kept up with all of the Marvel shows, Echo was kind of a villain that appeared in Hawkeye. She ended up kind of being used by Kingpin, and this is kind of going about her journey post those events, whether she's on the run, how she's getting help, whether it's from Daredevil or who else is kind of in the MCU at that time. I don't know if she's still going to be in New York or if she's going to be in another place as a merc for hire. So very, very intrigued to see kind of how that ends up working out. But last but not least, and I hate to leave you guys on a somber note in terms of news and rumors, but it has been confirmed that Marvel no longer has RDJ in the talks of returning as Iron Man. So as much as you guys have wanted to see him come back and reprise Iron Man and have all those great quips, unfortunately, he will not be in Marvel's future plans. But with that, fam, we're going to go ahead and wrap up today's episode. If you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to give us a 5-star rating. Not only does this ensure that we stay consistent with our content, but we are curating content that you guys enjoy. Guys, we're on all podcasting platforms, so that's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anywhere there's a podcast. The Superhero Brothers are keeping you in the know. If you guys have not already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on the podcast. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button there so you guys, and go ahead and hit that follow notifications button so you guys know every time we are dropping videos as well. Guys, be sure to follow us on our social media. We got an Instagram and a TikTok that's at Superhero Brothers. Again, that's at Superhero Brothers. For there, we have workouts, we have giveaways coming up. These are things you definitely do not want to miss. But with that, fam, this is your boy G-Man, and you have been listening to the Superhero Brothers podcast.